I'm getting a piece of tape.
Okay, I don't know, are we recording? Okay, we're recording. Okay, so go ahead, Bonnie, you can start us off.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you, Denise, for coming. Super excited about having you here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Melissa is our district manager. I know it's a little confusing because I'm your Avon mommy, and Denise is but geographically we have a home, and our geographic home is with Melissa, if that makes sense. And Melissa, just to introduce you to Denise a little bit, and then I'll let Denise tell you about herself. Denise is adorable. I was lucky enough to meet her at a meeting that we had up her way, and she has two little boys, adorable. She's constantly putting really cute live videos of what they're doing in the backyard and wherever, and in the car. So it's really a lot of fun. And she works full-time at Sugar House Casino, and it's crazy scheduling wise. So that's why I thought Avon would be so perfect for her, because she can fit it in the nooks and crannies, because Denise only has nooks and crannies.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So you go ahead, Denise, you introduce yourself.
Well, that was pretty much it. I'm just mommy, and I'm part-time at Sugar House. I went down to 3 days a week because it was just a little bit too much.
Yay!
I'm just trying, like you said, trying to work Avon into my nooks and crannies, but it really pretty much, it just sells itself for me. You know what I mean? I have it, and I'm still guilty. I haven't really done much to try to push it myself, but you know, I'm still hoping for the time to come where I'll be able to.
Well, here's the deal. That's why I'm so happy that you're here today, because we're going to show you and share ideas where you're going to realize, like, oh my gosh, I don't really need spare time. I don't need a block of time. This is just as I'm living my life, a couple here, a couple minutes there. So that's what I'm hoping will be your takeaway today.
Right. I would really like to move to mostly online. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of research of how to get better with that.
Cool.
Awesome. And how many kids do you have?
I have 2.
And how old are they?
They are 6 and 3.
Oh, nice.
Babies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my gosh. They're probably giving you a runaround, I'm sure.
Yeah, they really are. And my 3-year-old, he's a very busybody, and my 6-year-old, he's autistic, so he takes a little bit more effort or energy.
Oh my! I did not know that, because my granddaughter and my son are. So we'll have to have another conversation about that. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know.
So have you put any orders in at all yet, Denise?
Yeah, I've put in a few orders.
Okay. Awesome.
Awesome. I missed a few campaigns, but I think I've made pretty much. I maybe missed 3 or 4 orders since I began.
Okay. So
Denise has been pretty consistent, and her sales have been typically like 100 to 140 for a campaign. Of course, she had the great program where your first 4 campaigns at $100 was 40%. Yay! So that was so she got a taste of the fun money.
Yep, and I took advantage of that.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that. That's a good milestone to hit. So you should feel proud for that. And just, it's the little things that we do every single day, and that's kind of just what we're gonna talk about here. So is there anything fabulous going on in your life that you want to share with us today?
No, not really. Just babies today.
Is your son's hockey game going well? Are they winning?
Yeah, they are. Actually, they're 3-year-olds, so they it's not too much scorekeeping. They just kind of run around and tussle to get the ball, but they're doing pretty good. I'm kind of standing outside the gym, so it's not so noisy.
Awesome. So awesome. So I just wanted to let you know that, you are part of a fabulous team. And on here, you'll see Bonnie's team here, her total sales, 1,125. So you are a big part of that. And we totally appreciate all of the time, effort, and hard work that you put into your business. and we want to help you to continue to grow so you can continue to put more money in your pocket.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's always a good thing.
Yes, that's why we're here today. So what we're going to just talk about really briefly is who do you know?
Okay.
So this is going to kind of walk you through, and I'll let Bonnie go through the next slide here, and hopefully you can see it, and I'll be able to send you out, or Bonnie will send you out the paper so you can go ahead and fill it out.
Okay.
Chris, there are prizes involved here. So when you fill this out, I'm going to send you a gift, and Melissa's going to send you a gift. So we're both sending presents.
Okay.
And you've been to my meetings, so you know I'm all about the presents. But the important thing about who do you know is sometimes we just think of the obvious. Oh, I know my family. I know my close friends. There are a lot of people that we know and are coming and going, and we don't think of them as people we know. And that's why the list is such a big deal, because we're not thinking about the dry cleaners. We're not thinking about the clerk at Panera. We're not thinking about the bus driver. We're not thinking about all of the periphery people, not just your nearest and dearest. Because if I had to make a living off of my nearest and dearest, I would starve.
Right, right.
So this is really just a way to use this frogs to identify. And friends are not like your besties. Friends are people that you've known over the years. Maybe people that you're friends with on Facebook that you haven't spoken to for a really long time. That's what that friends section is. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to her forever, but she's really nice. I'm really nice. It's been a really long time. It's a great connection often, because I'm sure it's happened to you, but it happens to me. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen an Avon book in a really long time. I need to do some shopping. Typically, people are excited to have that opportunity. The relatives, of course, that just goes without saying. But it's not just the relatives, but it's like, which of my relatives work in an office? Which of my relatives are in a situation where they can share books with other people? And I can give them some free Avon as an appreciation for them sharing with people they know. So when you're thinking of the relatives, obviously you don't need to write your relatives down, you know who they are, but it's really thinking about what relatives have a greater base beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
And what can I give them to share with other people? Erin was at our meeting the other night, and she was just sharing that her mother takes the books to work. And so she gets a lot of outside orders from work. But a lot of people have relatives and say, hey, I will give you free Avon for every customer that you bring me. Or I will give you 10% of the Avon sales in free Avon. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's what frogs is really about. It's sort of getting the juices going of who we know.
Right, right.
And same thing with, you said you wanted to build your online sales, right? So
Yes.
think about anybody who's out of your local area that maybe you haven't sent an email to them with your link. And then do they know any people that they can forward that link to and help you to broaden that? Because you said you did want to try to build some of your sales on that end as well.
Right.
At the top of here, you'll see it says like number of friends, number of relatives. That's just an actual number, like number of friends, 8, number of relatives, 12. Gives you a number so you kind of have a general idea once you add it all up. Wow, I know that many people. It'll be really surprising to you when you sit down and think about it. It's not who you see every single day, but who do you see in a 2-week, 3-week period that you haven't really thought of in a while. So your son plays hockey, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Is there any moms that are at that hockey gym that you haven't given a book to, or that they have no idea that you're an Avon representative? You're already there. So you wear an Avon button or an Avon pin, or you carry around a book, and just hand it out, or just talk to them. Hey, how's it going? Da-da-da. And just start a general conversation with them. But the whole point is where you're already at, as well as also where you want to branch off as well.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Any questions?
Not yet.
Okay, awesome. We're trying to keep it really simple, so hopefully we'll answer everything before.
Actually, I do have one about the online sales.
Okay.
Periodically, I'll get a email saying somebody, I guess in my area or something, they want to know about Avon products, and saying I don't know how to respond to that, how to get back to them.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question.
Do you know where to find it on your Do you know where to find it on your Avon.com, first of all, to find out if somebody orders?
Yeah, I know how to find if somebody orders. But sometimes I'll get an email and it'll just come up and I'm like, okay, I don't really know how to.
So if they say to you, hey, Denise, I want to order some products, all you want to do is you want to say, fantastic. I'm so happy that you shopped my store. I would love to help you with your Avon needs. What are the products that you're looking for? Here's my contact information. Obviously, they already have your email, but, usually a lot of times they'll go through your site and that's how they get your information. Be really cautious too. If somebody sends you an email back and that email says, oh, great, I'm glad you got back to me and I need 20 of these and 15 of these and 12 of these and I live out of state and I'm going to have somebody pick it up. Just be cautious of that. Ask Bonnie or myself if you feel like it's broken English or something odd about it, or they're going to send their own shipper to come pick up the products, and they're going to send you a cashier's check. Be cautious of that because there are a lot of fraudulent people out there who do try to get new representatives or representatives in general to really not even send them products. They'll send you a cashier's check for more than actually what the product's worth. You go to cash it. The bank will actually let you cash it, but it's not until after they fully process it that they see it's fraudulent, and then you will be responsible for the funds. So just be careful of that. But it might be somebody who's local, and they might say to you, okay, great, here's my phone number. I'm looking for a skincare regimen that I could use every day. And then you can you communicate back and forth with them. But if you have any questions, you just let Bonnie or us know. But it's all just about, offering your services to them and thanking them for shopping with you and checking out your store. And what can you really do to help them? What are they looking for?
All right, great, thanks.
Okay, but yeah, just kind of be cautious because that gets to people. So as far as following up, that's your biggest thing. And I know Bonnie will agree with me that, following up is pretty much the key in your success. And there's obviously different ways of communication with these people. So obviously if you see a mom at the hockey game or whatever, you're going to see her again in a week or so. So you kind of, build a relationship that way and you see her every week. But then we have people who we give a brochure to, like maybe the lady at the cash register, and she, you might not see her the next 3 times you go into the grocery store. So it's really important to make sure we get her information so we can follow up. And everybody is so busy nowadays that they are wanting us to follow up.
Right.
I know Bonnie, go ahead, you can finish talking on that.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a really long time. And the one thing that all of us feel like, because we don't want to be pushy, we don't want to bother people, because we don't want to be pushed upon and we don't want to be bothered. And so we're always worried about doing that. And what I found is my customers thank me all the time. They're like, I am so busy. And by the time I think about you, it's 3:00 in the morning when I have to get up and pee. And then I want to go back to sleep again. So I don't want to send you a message because I just want to fall back to sleep. So I'm just really, really busy, but I really, really need the stuff. And that's the response. And it's so heartwarming when people say, oh, I thought you forgot all about me. You haven't texted me in 2 weeks or something like that. So I realize how much people are craving customer service. So when we give a catalog, I don't know if you can see this. I've sent you this. I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah. I see it.
But I text them I sent all my text out yesterday to everybody to see if they want to have an order. Some people, it's like crickets. They don't answer at all. Other people say, oh, not right now, but let me know next time. So they are really, really, really happy to hear from you. Pushy is when they say nothing right now and you're like, oh, really? Why not? But that's what they don't want. And that's what the pushy is. But just checking in with people. And if they don't have something, say, hey, do you need a sample? Would you like some information? That kind of thing.
Okay.
Denise, how many customers would you say you have right now?
Off and on, maybe about 10, 8, 10.
That's
They don't always order every campaign, but periodically pop in and out.
That's a good substantial start of your business. So that's really good to be really proud of yourself for that. That's awesome. And again, we have them at catalog, right? Now, the difference between online sales and obviously giving a brochure, you really want to do both. I know you said you're leaning a little bit more wanting to do because it is easier with the online sales. So definitely you can do that. I would definitely still recommend though handing out brochures, and why that is because when you give somebody a brochure, they take it home and they put it on their table. Well, it stares at them. Every time they walk by that table, it stares at them, right? Where
Yes.
if you're doing it online, it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's really important to still get your brochures out. If you call them and they say, no, I'm not really interested right now at this time, you can say, okay, not a problem. I'm putting my order in, but that's okay. I'll get to you next time. But in the meantime, if you see something in the brochure, feel free to shop my online store because it'll come to you in about 3 days. And then I'll just call you when my next order goes in. Maybe then they'll turn around and say, oh, you know what? She said I could shop on her online store. Maybe they'll then go shop on your online store. So you want to always let them know that they do also have that option as well.
Okay.
But it's still really good to get out brochures just because they're kind of seeing it all the time. And make sure you put all of your customers inside your address book at youravon.com in your web office.
Yes.
Because what will happen is Avon will then automatically on your behalf shoot them an email to let them know of all the great sales and free gifts that they can get when they do shop your store.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. So just be sure that you have at least their email address in there. And then, if you're on Facebook, I post things on there to let, you guys share of the great deals that are going on. I'm sure Bonnie does on her team page as well. And make sure you share that, and that'll help you also push them to also shop your e-store.
Okay. Great.
And the other thing with the e-store is I have a lot of customers who I will put a book in their hands, but they will shop online because they don't want to worry about me coming to their house or making that time. And although a lot of times I'll get payment, I'll send them an invoice, they'll pay online, and then I just drop it off. But a lot of times they just want to do that online ordering, but they want to talk to me.
Right.
So I get them a book, they shop through the book, they'll text me typically, which foundation is best for me or what should I get? So I still have that personalized service, but I don't have to leave the house. I don't have to go to their house, and then they'll order online.
Right.
So if you have customers that you have where you're delivering to them personally, but you don't necessarily want to do that or they're too far away, then say, oh my gosh, we have a great deal on the online store. If you just jump into your store, like it takes seconds every day, see what the special is. And then if you talk to that person today, say, oh my gosh, go on there and this is the special. You get a free this or a free shipping or whatever it is. So just be aware of what the specials are on your page, and you can convert some of your customers to the online.
Okay.
And
Great.
here's a follow-up list. It's really great. And it has the bottom where you can find it. It just kind of can keep track of your customers. There's a key at the bottom of it. And, if somebody orders something, you put an O for ordered, B for brochure, just so it keeps track of who you gave a brochure to or did they order. Find their ordering pattern. Maybe they're ordering every other, or maybe they're just ordering online or so often ordering online. It kind of can help you keep track. So it's just a way for you to make sure you really follow up.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And then obviously, Thanksgiving is next week. Woohoo, right? Everybody's super excited.
So fast. Oh my God. Can't believe it's here already.
Oh my gosh. I know, when it's 65 degrees outside.
Yeah, exactly. During the day, and then at night it's like 40.
I know. So there's all kinds of great things you can do. I'm sure Bonnie's going to post these on her team page as well. A lot of representatives find really success in this. What they do is on Black Friday, for instance, they do a time frame for their customers to call them, and they'll give them either a free gift or a hand cream based on the time that they call.
Okay.
So there's a lot of great things out there for that. So just, keep your eye out for that. Bonnie will talk a little bit about her Small Business Saturday.
Yes, so we have Black Friday, and the Saturday after Black Friday, this year it's the 26th, is called Small Business Saturday. And American Express runs this whole campaign of really great commercials and videos that you can pull off of YouTube where they talk about how important it is to shop small, and that's us. And so you can make your own personalized banners. I'm pretty sure I put them on the page, but I'll re-put them on the page just to sort of freshen it up and let everybody see them again. And then I'm going to post them. And so on Thursday or Friday, you can say, hey, Small Business Saturday, and these are my specials. And you'll use those flyers to pick your own specials that you want to use, specials that you're comfortable with, and specials depending on your commission base, where you're still making money, but you're giving them a special. It could be maybe 20% off their highest priced item, even something as small as that, because you're just building your campaign sales at this point. So, but it's a great time to remind people to shop small. We can all shop from big corporations, but when we're helping people that we know, moms that want to stay home, spend more time with their kids, that's exactly what you just did. You've just, changed your schedule so that you can be home with the kids more. And so it's a great way to remind people like, hey, I'm feeding my family with this business, and I'm going to serve you like no corporation can.
Right.
Absolutely. And then following that, obviously, is Cyber Monday. Avon usually does put a lot of great things out there. So make sure this week you get everybody in your address book, go through your cell phone and, get them in your address book. If you don't have their email, text them. Hey, I need your email address. I want to make sure you get the latest specials that are going on for Cyber Monday with my Avon business. So use this week while you can to get that all in order. So this way they are on that list and they can get those posts. Make sure if you see any of us post something on Facebook, you kind of go ahead and share it. And if you're really not sure and you're wondering, hey, what's going on? Did I miss it? I didn't see it. Just text Bonnie or myself. We're definitely here to help. We love when you guys ask questions. So, it makes us feel like we're not just out in this world by ourselves. So definitely, if you need anything or you have any questions with anything, you let us know.
Okay.
And then obviously, I'm not sure if you've had a home party yet at all, but it's a really great way to get out there and, let people shop with you last minute. Campaign 1 is going to be the last order that you're going to be able to place for your customers to get their stuff in time. Okay. So just when you have anybody out there, push that a little bit. Hey, don't forget, was it the last book? If you want to do a home party or home show, let me know. We have some display items depending on when you do it. Our district is having a holiday party. You think you're going to be able to come out to our holiday party?
When is it?
The 13th, I think. Hold on, let me double check. The 13th? Yes, it's the 13th of December. It's at 6:30. And all of the holiday display items that I have, we're going to be raffling off.
Oh, nice. Do you know what day that falls on? I'm sorry, I can't get to the calendar.
It's a Tuesday.
Oh, no, I work on Tuesday.
Well, wait a second. Isn't that the Ben Salem?
Yes.
Denise is 2987.
Okay. It's still on a Tuesday. It's on the 6th. 2987 is on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a Tuesday too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. I usually work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind going forward. No biggie, though. We will make sure that you have all the information. So I
miss all the good stuff all the time.
This is why
Well, you're here today, so now we're starting to get the good stuff in your time frame.
Right.
Well, I like that. That's why I was like, I'm gonna make this. I don't care about hockey or anything. I'm gonna make this one.
Absolutely. You get emails.
So if you like this, we'll definitely do more of these.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
This is our first one.
yeah, it fits into your schedule because, you know, you don't have to go to a specific place. You just hop on your phone or your
Right. So that'll usually always work for me, unless I'm at work. But
Right.
Right, obviously, right.
You know what? Before I forget, I wanted to also say, Denise, you're amazing with the Facebook Live stuff. And
thank you. I'm learning. You'll never believe I'm really kind of learning. I've cut off so many videos trying to do that thing.
But you can do a quick Facebook Live, like just 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Hi, everybody, and talk about your Avon business. Hey, you know, I'm really excited about my Avon. Everyone, all my customers are loving the products. I would love to share it with you. Here's my link. Check it out in the comments below, or here's my link. It's, you know, depending on if you're going to edit it.
Right.
And you're going to put your link after your Facebook Live shows. There, check out the link and then point up. And sort of get that going. And the other thing is about having an event in your home. It's not really about having a lot of product as much as it is an opportunity for everyone to sit around the kitchen table.
Right.
When
I know, and I was always sad because I could never make your lotions and potions. Me, that I'm so excited to finally get to one. I can never make them.
The power in my lotions and potions, because I share with them the body stuff around the house and the perfumes around the house that I use, and they get to try them too. But the real power, I get some pretzels from the pretzel store, and I have some bottled water that I can use later. So if they don't use it, it's not going to go to waste.
Right.
But the power is I have a place setting around every chair around the kitchen table. And after they do a little spritzing and a little body lotioning, they sit around the table and they're just flipping the pages, and they're actually sitting and going through the catalog as we're having water and pretzels, and they're asking questions about what they're looking at. And it's just sort of having that sitting around the table girlfriend vibe that they really like. And that's the real power. It's the sitting around the kitchen table that is the real power of doing the lotions and potions. So don't feel like you need to have a lot of stuff.
Right.
And I will lend you stuff. I have a bunch of perfumes, and Melissa has stuff. So if you want to have some stuff when you do an event. And the cool thing is you're home. The kids are there. You don't have to find a babysitter, you know. So.
And also, you said you're great with like Facebook Live. So, for instance, you know, you don't have to go and feel like you have to buy a certain product or whatever. Maybe there's a product that you use that you love, but maybe you have a customer who uses the vitamin C, for instance, and she's bought it 3 times from you and she really loves it. Ask her for some feedback. And then, you know, when she orders it, you already have it in your hand. I'm trying to see if I can find one. You already have it in your hand. And you could, you know, say this is the vitamin C. It's not as a cleanser, but you could get on your Facebook Live and say, I have this is, you know, vitamin C. This is great. You know, you can go on avon.com and find out some reviews and also a little bit more about the skincare. Let's say if that's what you're talking about. And then say to your customer, you know, and then my customer, Sally, she uses this every day and this is what she loves about it. Even better, if your customer wouldn't mind getting in a video with you and doing a testimonial. Testimonials are fabulous, and they will really help you build your sales because they trust in you because they have a personal relationship with you. And then they're seeing somebody else that also trusts in you, and they're giving you a testimonial about why they love it. So they're more likely to even try it. And also just remind everybody that, hey, they get a 90-day money-back guarantee. So give it a shot, right?
Right.
What do they have to lose?
Right.
How many catalogs do you typically order?
Now I only order like 10.
Okay. And do you have any, well, first of all, I just want to remind you that we can back order 2 campaigns. Do you have any older books laying around the house?
I do.
Awesome. So you probably have more than 10 books laying around the house. So now let's get them out of the house. I'm going to post my $5 coupon. I offer them $5 off their first $25 order. And they really love that. And sometimes I get a $20 order, so they don't get to use it. But I say, hey, when you put in your first order of 25 or more, so it sort of gets them coming back again. Does that make sense? Even if they don't get it the first time.
Definitely.
But they love it when they're getting a deal. And so even if you have catalogs that are older, let's say you have Campaign 20 catalogs, use them, because those sales are always coming back around again. So pretty much, unless it's clothes or jewelry, you're going to be able to get that reusable product at a similar or exact price that's in those older books. So let's just get them all out of the house.
Yeah, I do. I kind of do that because I keep a couple in my car all the time to find the book, or a few in my purse, and then whichever one I have in my purse or in the car, I'll just give that one out.
Cool.
Awesome. And you said you're only getting 10. So a really great way to take 10 brochures to turn into 20 is if you have a neighbor and you give them one of your brochures, you might want to say to your neighbor, today's Saturday, so you might want to say to that neighbor, hey, I'm really trying to build my business and I only have 10 brochures, so I want to give this brochure to you. There's some great things in here I think you might like, but because I only have a limited supply, I'm going to come back to you on Monday and ask for that brochure back. So what that does is it forces you, number one, to follow up. And then you let them know the reason why you need that back, because you're going to hand that brochure to another person and another customer. So when you go back to that customer, they know from today to Monday, they have a limited time to look through that book, right? So they're going to circle, they're going to flag, they're going to write down their order, because they know on Monday that you're going to show up at their door and they're going to have to give it back and they don't have any more time to look at it. And they're going to most likely have an order for you. And now you take this book and you take it to the next person. So now you've turned 10 brochures into 20 brochures. And it kind of helps you to remind you to follow up.
I love that. That's a great tip.
Okay. So really use that. Don't let only 10 brochures limited you to only getting it out to 10 customers.
Okay. Great. I love that. That's a great tip.
Great.
And then in most days it'll force me to follow up.
Yes.
Yep, and get those orders. I had a representative who was like, hey, Melissa, I don't know what's going on in this campaign, but I only have like $100 in orders. And I said to her, all right, Stacy, why is it only $100 in orders? And she's like, well, I don't know, I've been really busy. And I said, why don't you really take some time right now, get off the phone with me and take 45 minutes and call every single customer that's in your address book, in your list. Right. And she did that. And an hour later, she called me back and she said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I did that. I just got another $200 in orders because I followed up.
Wow.
It's totally key in your success. And it really does make a difference. So definitely do what you can. If you go to the grocery store here on this slide, we're just talking about your everyday life, how, we really don't want you to have to feel like I got to dedicate time, to getting out there and handing brochures out. So when you're at the grocery store, for instance, or like in this example, you go to Dunkin' Donuts and the lady rings you up, hand her a brochure. You're probably saying to yourself, you have 5 seconds, right? Your kids are pulling you out of Dunkin' Donuts and, they're going crazy. And you're like, oh my gosh, I only have 30 seconds to get this girl a brochure. So you give them a brochure, you maybe compliment her on her nail polish. You let her know we have some great fall colors. You hand her a brochure. The biggest key we've been talking about is following up, right? So you want to make sure you follow up. Well, how are we going to do that in a 30-second time to make sure you get our information? What you want to do is you want to make sure that on all your brochures before you leave a house, so even the ones that you have in your purse in your car right now, you want to go and get a sticky note and put a sticky note on the front of the brochure. What that does is as soon as you pull out that book out of your purse, you're going to say, uh-oh, this is going to be screaming at you, this yellow Post-it note. And you're going to say, oh, she's going to say, yeah, I love a brochure. You're going to take this out. You're going to see the Post-it note. And you're going to say, oh, I better ask her for information. Okay, what's your name? Jane. Oh, hi, Jane. My name is Denise. It's so great to see you. Okay, what's your number or email address? I would love to follow up with you and let you know when my next order is going in and make sure there's nothing in there that you might want me to order. Bonnie has a really good thing that she does with her cell phone. Body, if you want to go ahead and tell us.
Yes. So let's say I'm at a restaurant and I'll say to my server, thank you so much for a wonderful dinner experience or breakfast experience, whatever it is. And typically they're like, oh my gosh, nobody ever says that to me. They are like so excited because you're a nice person, I'm a nice person, but we don't realize how many people give them a hard time.
Yeah.
And I'll say, you know what, just to thank you, I would like to give you this gift. And I would give her the Avon book. And this, I'm like, this is $5 off your first order. That's just my way of thanking you. And that's important to like view your business as a gift. It's like, hey, this is amazing product, great price. I'm giving you this coupon. So it really is something great that we're doing. And then she'll give me a positive response. Sometimes she'll just say, oh, thank you, and walk away. But a lot of times, oh my gosh, I love Avon. I haven't seen a product, and they're so grateful that you've complimented them. And then I'll take my cell phone and I'll open up the contacts and I'll say, do me a favor. Can you just put your contact information in? And then I will send you a text and see if you want to get the online link or use your thing. And then all of a sudden my phone is in their hand. And they're like, oh my gosh, she just trusted me with her phone, because our phone is like our lifeline. And it's a subliminal message of, hey, I want to serve you.
Right.
And they put their information in there, and then I'm able to text them and keep in contact. And most people don't mind giving you their phone numbers. I rarely have anyone say no.
And I'm trying to ask you that too, because I'm like so nervous to ask like a stranger for their contact information. I'm like, I don't know. But that giving them your phone is a good trick.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my gosh, this total stranger is trusting me with the phone, because I run fast. So if they take off, I'll catch them. And then oh, okay, she's trusting me. I'm going to trust her.
Right.
Yeah. And if you do the Post-it note, pretty much you just ask them for their information just so you can follow up and let them know when your order's going in. You take off the Post-it note, you put it in your pocket, and then you give them the brochure. So the key is really about the follow-up and making sure you get their information. Obviously, if you drop a book to somebody, you don't get their information, more times than none, you never get a phone call. So that's kind of because, again, we're busy and they just don't have time to call us, and we don't have their information at that point. So but yeah, so it's really important. And then just putting it in your daily life, in this slide here, it just talks about how a representative was on her way to work and the places that she stopped. She stopped at the gas station, so she gave maybe the attendant her business card. When she went to the Dunkin' Donuts before she went to work, she gave a card or a brochure to the cashier. And then when she, then on her way home, she went to the bank, so she saw the teller. And then she saw 3 people standing outside when she went into work, so she gave them. So in your daily life, on where you go, you don't realize how many people that you actually pass.
Right.
You know them, but how many people you pass. So, and then it just talks about in her office, obviously she has UPS delivery guy, mail carrier, things like that. So again, it's more about us being aware of the people around us and then taking advantage of it. We miss so many opportunities every single day in our lives to really let others know about Avon. And the problem is that most of us are hearing, oh, I haven't seen the Avon brochure in forever. And
right.
That's a sign of us representatives not really getting out there and having brand awareness. The more brochures we get out there, the less we're going to hear, oh my gosh, I didn't know Avon was still around, And even if they say that, we're not your grandmom's Avon. We have things for dad. We have things for kids. We have clothing. We have home decor now. So there's a lot of things that they might have a conscious thought of Avon, but we're so not that. So if they're like, oh no, I don't like Avon, ask them, well, when was the last time you saw a brochure? 15 years ago. Oh, well, let me show you a new brochure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
a lot of my customers are surprised that they have like clothes and everything now.
Right?
They're like, wow.
I get that too.
Yeah.
And
it's just lipstick and perfume.
That's right.
Right? And you go to the pediatrician. I don't have little kids. I go to the veterinarian, and I'll say, thank you so much for taking care of my dog is my baby. Thank you so much for taking care of my baby. Here's a gift, and I'll give them the catalog with the coupon. And you can do the same thing at the pediatrician.
Right.
Or my dog groomer lets me leave books in her office, so I leave books in her office. But I have someone at my vet, she orders every single campaign, every single one. And if I would never have approached her,
Right.
thanked her, and not a lot of other people in the office do, but she does. So if I hadn't have given something to everybody, then I wouldn't have got her. So yay.
Yay! Yep, and if you have an office like that, a lot of times they will let you leave brochures there or in their waiting room. And that's an opportunity for somebody to pick it up and while they're sitting there, maybe then hop on your, their cell phone and look at your e-store. So, we're all bored sitting in a waiting rooms, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So here it talks about your no's. Don't be afraid to get rejected or somebody to tell you no. That's fine. Not a problem. If you have a business card, at least, maybe they don't want to take a brochure, but you say, here, here's my business card. If you happen to, want to check out my web store on your own time, not a problem. If somebody tells you, I will tell you, if somebody tells you, oh, I already have a representative, I personally would suggest to still give them your business card. So many representatives nowadays, they don't really service their customers the way that you and I maybe do, really outbuilding their business. So, or they might have had a representative and they haven't ordered in a while and they're like, yeah, I have a representative. And then all of a sudden they decided, oh, you know what? Now that they've met you, and you kind of reminded them about Avon, they're thinking to themselves, oh, you know what? I haven't talked to my representative. Maybe I'll, go and call her. And now she's not selling Avon. Well, you gave her your brochure, your business card. So now you might pick up a customer with that. Just remember though, a lot of times, if you're giving your customers really good customer service and you're really taking really good care of them and telling them, like Bonnie says, you appreciate them, it doesn't matter who approaches them. It doesn't matter if they pick up somebody else's brochure with their, with somebody else's name on the back of it. They're still going to come to you and be loyal. Our Avon customers are totally loyal to us as long as we're giving them good customer service.
Right.
So definitely, but you have to go through, sometimes you have to go through a lot of no's to get somebody who says yes. And I have this really cool, demonstration pretty much with these, with it's like a deck of cards, right? So in a deck of cards, you have, a couple aces in there, but it takes you, a few of these cards to get through until you actually find that ace, which is then going to be your yes. So here's the ace. So we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 no's to get to our ace. So that's kind of the key is you never know how many no's you're going to have to get through, but sometimes it's a lot more, sometimes it's a lot less. So it just really, really depends.
I'm sorry. Hey, baby. Good job.
Aww.
Good job, buddy.
High fives.
Do you have to go?
High fives. Kiss. No, a couple more minutes.
Okay.
Aww.
Yeah, go walk. Go walk. Come on. Wash hands. Take shoes off. Go sit down and have a snack and some water, okay? JC, take your shoes off, baby. Hello, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh. No, that's the whole point. Your nooks and crannies.
Absolutely. So anytime you need anything, you let us know. Really, we're always here. And I'm going to send you out a little gift for coming out today and obviously, taking the time to really
Me too.
learn some things about your business and things that you can do to help build your business. Me and Bonnie totally appreciate it. As much time as it takes for, you to set some time aside to join us. It takes us some time to put some things together for you so we can help you. So we totally appreciate you coming out and fitting us into your busy schedule.
Well, thanks. I'm happy that I'm no one here because I felt, I needed more attention to get me kind of boosted back up anyway. So
Awesome.
And how did you feel about some of the things that we talked about? Do you think that some of these things you can implement?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like all the people that I'm letting slip through my fingertips and not even talking to them about it, and just kind of help me get a little bit more motivated again, I kind of, Avon can make you lazy trying to move it because like I said, it really sells itself. So I just been kind of putting it out there that I'm the quote unquote Avon lady, which everybody calls me now. And, you know, and it just kind of moves itself, you know, but I haven't really been following up with my customers. They'll say, oh, I need some more lotion. I need some more this. And then I'll take an order from them, but I'm not really keeping them abreast of everything that's going on.
And we know that lives are busy. You know, we've all been there. I mean, I got 3 kids of my own, all under the age of 13. So I know how busy it can be. You're kind of, you know, it's always, you know, go, go, go. So anytime you need anything or you feel like you might have missed something, please let us know. Do you get my emails and you get Bonnie's emails?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
awesome. So if you happen
I don't email. I text and Facebook, right?
Okay, got it. No. Well, I email a lot. I know.
That's my drill.
Yeah. I get them. I know I'm terrible about it. I'm so sorry. A lot of times I don't answer. A lot of times when I'm looking through my texts, I just kind of open them and say, okay, well, I'll answer later. And I just kind of never roll back around to my text or email. I know she's probably
and they're of
like,
value.
never going to answer me.
And I know I send a lot of emails, so if you happen to come across something, you have a question, you can always text, email Bonnie or myself. We could clarify it, or we can help you with it. Absolutely. You know, whatever you really need, we're here. If you ever have an opportunity and you have some time that you're free, you're not working, you don't have any kids on your hand, let me or Bonnie know. We can meet face to face, or, you know, we can kind of take you out and, you know, try to help you get some customers. If you want to do an event, I know Bonnie's also available that, you know, she can kind of help you with all of that as well.
Right.
So you just let us know whatever you need.
Like a McDonald's with a Playland or Chick-fil-A with a Playland, we can meet there. I have a Chick-fil-A with a Playland at, you know, my Turnpike entrance. So the kids can play and we can talk.
Great. I would love that. I'll definitely. What's wrong?
And then maybe we can network at the Chick-fil-A. We can give out our books at the Chick-fil-A.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of business can be done when you're trying to get your kids off the sliding board of Chick-fil-A.
Right. Right. And definitely don't put that in your mouth.
There's other moms there, right? So they're
Yeah, exactly. That's your wheelhouse.
Go get your other shoe, please. Don't leave it there on the floor. Go get your other shoe. Stop screaming.
I love it.
Mommy. Hello. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Been there, done that.
Yeah, you have a great day with your son. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Enjoy the nice weather the last day we have it.
Thank you, you guys too. Thanks for the
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Next time we have one of these, I'm sure Bonnie will post, you know, we can get another one going.
Yes, definitely.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to be there again. I love this one.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
You too.
I'm going to stop recording, Bonnie, and I'm going to send it to you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.